Right next to me, my man Shannon Sharpe.
Thank you.
Phil Simms, that great New York Giants quarterback, and right over there, of course, Jim Nantz. These two guys will be doing the play-by-play. You'll be telling us how it's all going to come out.
Bob, let me start by saying this. Never in my wildest imaginations did I ever think I'd be on Face the Nation. My grandmother, my sister is watching back home, and all my friends, and I'm on Face the Nation.
Well,
Thanks for having me.
I tell you, I never in my wildest dreams thought we'd have a blimp shot on Face the Nation. But they tell me we're going to have one, so when we see it, we'll all wave.
Exactly.
We'll all wave. Shannon, I just want to start with you because the commissioner was talking about this whole idea of concussions and injuries, and that the game has gotten pretty dangerous. Everybody's trying to figure out what to do about it. Can you have football if it's not rough? I mean, I think that seems to be the question that everybody is grappling.
I don't think you can. I think the guys have gotten bigger, they've gotten faster, but the dimensions of the field have stayed the same. I think the thing is now, the NFL is doing as good a job as they possibly can with the diagnosing of concussion. When I first got into the league, they didn't know any better. Now they know better, they do better. They diagnose it properly, they get the guys off the field. They're doing everything they possibly can. I think they're taking steps in the right direction, but I think there's more that can be done.
Well, what about you, Phil? I mean, some people say the game's got too dangerous for its own good. I mean, that they're going to have to do something here. And I don't think there's any question. People now see this connection between concussions and brain damage that they didn't see before.
Bob, I think they're making a lot of great changes in the NFL. I think the rule changes that we see, that's the one thing I love about the league. It's not like the other sports. They're not afraid to change it, whether it helps TV, helps the enjoyment for the fans and the safety of the players. So every year we see rule changes. And the biggest thing is right now, too, the equipment's going to get better. The helmet is they're going to revolutionize it, I think, in the next couple of years, and that will help all these head injuries, and they're going in the right direction.
You know, the media has a role in this, too. We have celebrated and over-celebrated and replayed the big collision.
Yep.
We've had them sponsored in the highlights, the hit of the week, and other various names that really promote players to go out there and viciously lay someone out. And you know what's happened, Bob, is that the players are faster and they're stronger. So the collisions, they're bigger. So the collisions, of course, create more damage.
And football is based on the premise of imposing your will on someone. And what you try to do is hit someone as physically as hard as you possibly can, legally, to impose your will, to let them know you're the toughest, you're the most physical team that day, and that's the way a lot of teams win football games.
Well, they're talking, some people, as you all know, are talking about maybe doing away with the three-point stance for the linemen, except when you got down close to the
That's
goal.
one rule change they're not going to get away with.
No.
That won't happen. And like I said, the changes, what's really changed a lot in football is now, it used to be everybody was close together and you just kind of ran into each other. Now, with the passing offense, they spread the field from sideline to sideline, so that just gives guys more space, more time, and more speed. So, but like I said, I really have a lot of faith. I think they're making some good corrections.
But I bet what you want, Phil, is that they would say you can't tackle the quarterback. Right?
No, you're wrong. Completely wrong. No. I want them, well, I don't want to say that. I was going to say, I want them to go back to the rules that we played under, but they got to be careful there, too. You got to give the defense some chance. We can't do every single thing in football for the offense.
I want to ask you guys about that. Let's just talk about this game. I mean, my heavens. I mean, I probably know more about baseball than I do about football. But I think one thing I do know about is a good story. And I can't think of a better story in a long, long time than Peyton Manning and coming from New Orleans, the whole Manning family growing up down there, and now he's going against New Orleans, his Cinderella team. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, Jim.
No, it's a feel-good Super Bowl. There's not a villain here, Bob. There's not like a group that anyone has any reason to say, I don't like that team. I don't like the way they play football. They're class organizations. Peyton is in the midst of building a career that might be one of the biggest, if not the biggest of all time. Today would be another step in that direction.
Is he the best player in the league?
Well, I think there's no question he is right now. He's won the MVP for the 4th time. That's an all-time record. Then you got the Saints story, which I believe if they win here today, this is going to be the feel-good story of all feel-good stories in the history of the Super Bowl. You can't imagine anything to match. The whole country will celebrate with him, except for Indianapolis.
Talks about him, but what about Drew Brees? I mean, I just wrote down some notes here. Here's a kid that he took his team to 2 undefeated seasons in high school, won the state championship in Texas, which is a pretty good prize to win. He took his team, Purdue, to the Rose Bowl for the first time in 34 years, and now he takes New Orleans to the Super Bowl. I mean, this guy doesn't do anything but win.
Well, I want to say this about Drew Brees. I'm down in New Orleans practice, and they all go, hey, don't forget about our quarterback. And I go, nobody's forgetting about him. Just remember, Peyton Manning's been doing it for 12 years. So he has built on to all of his success. Drew Brees, his 4th year under Sean Payton, I say, let him do this for 8 more years. He'll be the only story when he comes to the Super Bowl.
He said that to Drew the other day. We met with him on Thursday morning. He says he's been playing for 8 years longer than you have because Drew really gets it. He's one of these compulsive personalities, perfectionists, and he was talking about how he realizes this game can put him in that upper echelon with the Mannings and the Bradys. Roethlisberger's won a couple of Super Bowls. He knows his career, if it's going to be a Hall of Fame career, rests on days like today.
And that's what happens because as great as Drew Brees has played, you look at Peyton Manning. I think a lot of quarterbacks get overlooked because Peyton Manning plays so well. And I was talking on radio the other day. I said when you really look at Peyton Manning, if you just take his career, he's going to win between 12 and 14 games every year. He'll throw between 4 and 4,500 yards with 30 touchdowns. Unless somebody has a Tom Brady season of 2007, who else do you give the MVP to? Who?
I know.
Well, now that I've seen The Blind Side, I've become an expert on blocking and left tackles and all that. There are a couple of other guys out on the field today besides Peyton Manning and Drew Brees. Who should we keep our eye on, Shannon?
Well, I think the biggest storyline is the Dwight Freeney's health, because you don't know if he's going to play or how much he's going to play, and if he does play, how effective will he be? He is the best defensive player that was going to take the field, provided he's healthy, and that greatly increases New Orleans' chances of winning this ball game if he can't get constant pressure on Drew Brees.
I would say this, as we talk up here today and all week long, it's been about what? Passing the football.
Yep.
And so the defenses, we got to stop the pass. Well, if you're putting everybody back there to stop the pass, who's going to stop the run? So it would not surprise me at all if one of the running backs for either team today has a special day and can be the MVP of the game when it's over.
Do you really believe Indy can run the football? They average 79.5 a game.
I really believe there's a chance they could run the ball well today.
I believe there's a good chance we're going to have a punt return for a touchdown today. Reggie Bush. There has never been a punt return in the history of the Super Bowl. Now, he has played in 4 playoff games in his Saints career. He scored 5 touchdowns. He scored in every single playoff game. He's a game changer, game breaker. I would say the X factor, Reggie Bush and Reggie Wayne on the Colts side.
You think it'd be a high-scoring game or low-scoring game?
I'm going high scoring. Tonight it's going to be perfect. These little breezes we're feeling right now, they're going to settle down. It's going to be ideal weather for the quarterbacks to be able to throw the football the way they want to throw it.
Well, both teams scoring at 20. Is that high scoring? So that's what I think. Both teams will be in the 20s. I think it'll be close.
I think one team will be in the 30s. I don't really see, with Dwight Freeney being out of the ball game, guys, I just don't see how they get constant pressure on him. And another thing, the field goal kickers. Garrett Hartley's in his 2nd year. Matt Stover's in his 20th year.
I see it this way, Bob. Temperature is going to be in the 50s, the winner's going to be in the 40s, and the loser's going to be in the 30s. Tune in, okay?
Wow. That sounds good. Guys, it's great to talk to you.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it.